All right, what's up everyone? It's Sam from 64 Wheels, back more diecast, and today we're going to be covering the newest Hot Wheels Fast and Furious Premium box. This is an Amazon exclusive. I got it a little while ago, but I haven't been able to do an unboxing video, but I have all the other previous releases of the cars that actually come in this box. We're going to compare each one, see which one's better, and see if this newest box is worth picking up. So I'm excited to get into this one, so let's do it. All right, so this is the fourth different Fast and Furious Premium box that Hot Wheels has released. The first three, as you can see, are right here. I believe the Racer's Edge was first, and that came with 5. I did an unboxing of this one too. Came with the RX-7, the Supra, the S15, the Escort, and the Impala. So that is a cool box, and the reason why these are unique is because they come with cars that weren't released before in this combination. So even though the cars from these sets have been released before, they've never been released in these 5 combination of cars, which is different from the box sets of cars like the original Fast or Quarter Mile Monsters or whatever they are that come in the box set. There's nothing different about those cars than the standard releases that you can find on pegs. They're just boxed together with different card art. These, however, are different, and they come with the 5 different cars. So these 5 cars were never together in any of the car culture releases or the entertainment, whatever they're calling them now. So these are all unique. So these are different. I haven't collected any of the box sets of all the 5 cars put together because there's no need to spend the extra money, because there's no difference in those than the regular retail releases. But these are different. These are actual, these are boxed separate. As you can see, all the cars are different. These 5 have never come released together before. So it is the SVT Lightning, the Jetta, the Maxima, which is the newest release of the 5, the R33 GTR, and the Nissan Silvia S14. Now, one thing you'll notice about these cars is that they are a little bit different from the last time they released. These look like the first releases of each car. So the original Fast had these like vintage racing wheels. It had the chrome 6 spokes and the white ones. This doesn't really different because they've never released it with different wheels. But the Lightning has the retro slotted wheels, which are different than this release right here. And all the newest ones had different wheels. So they're actually going back to the original version, the original Fast, rather than the incorrect black wheels that they had before. So it's going to be interesting to open this and compare these new releases to the original Fast that have the same wheels and to the newer ones that maybe have a little bit different tampos. So maybe this is the best of both worlds. We'll get the more correct wheels and the better tampos of the new ones. So I guess let's just find out. So like I was saying, I got this off Amazon. A lot of people got it off Amazon. I believe it's an Amazon exclusive, but with all store exclusives, it seems like sometimes they pop up other places. So it's an Amazon exclusive, but who knows where you'll end up finding it. So I believe the price was right around $40. Not too much different than actual retail, but there you can see all 5 cars, how they come packaged. They do not come packaged individually like on a card. This is like a deluxe 5-car set, I guess, or a premium 5-pack, if you will. So let's go ahead and take out the SVT Lightning first. So as you can see, the little bit of kind of wear on the mirror a little bit from the box, but the truck looks pretty good. So if we compare it to the very first release, I can't remember if this was American Muscle, which one this was in, but this was just a regular 5-pack of car culture cars. So the newest one looks to have a brighter red color. The original one looks a little bit more deep, and I've had it in a case the whole time, so it's not like it's sun damage or anything, but it just does seem to be a little bit better on the new one. And you can see the line across the hood from where they like molded the body. On the new one, you can't see that. So when you compare the tampos, they look very similar. There's not a whole bunch of difference on those. I would probably lean against the new truck being the more correct color red, just because it's a brighter red. Both have really bad tampos. They have the printer style tampos that are really hard to read. I might give the edge to the old one on that one. They both have those chrome retro slotted wheels. They look good. It's not exactly correct for the truck, but they do look good on it. There you can see the reverse tampos. I would go with the new one right here being the most correct, or having the better tampos, at least. Like the old one, look at the old one right there, really bad. The Ford on the new one looks pretty good. So the bed doesn't appear to be any different. The chassis don't appear to be any different base codes. Obviously, the original was N06, the new one is S28, which the digit in the front, like the letter, is the year, and then the number is the week. So I assume that's 2023, the 28th week, but I don't know. I'll have to double check those. But in terms of the truck, I think the new one is the better one, at least compared to the original release. Let's take a look at the newer one with the 5 spokes. I think I like that one better. Looks like the door tampo on the new one is sized a little differently. Probably more realistic. I think the tampos on the new one, like the Lightning on the fender, looks a lot better. The tampos on the headlights and the grille look a lot better. The red color is a bit different. I think we finally have a winner. I think the newest one in the 5-car set is the winner. It has the best tampos, the best color, and just to me a little bit higher quality look all around. So win already to the new one. So that's pretty cool, because usually the newest releases aren't the best, but I think this is actually really, really good. So it's worth picking up the box set for at least. So okay, so let's go ahead and check out the second car, which is the Volkswagen Jetta. So this one has had 2 releases as well, but this one has gone largely unchanged, I think, since the very first one. So they've never put different wheels on it. This is the first one from the original Fast, which is probably the most comparable, even though all 3 of them, this one came in the diorama set. So if we take a look at them, there's really no difference. I don't see a ton of tampo difference. It's got the same wheels. Let's look at the tampo. I would actually lean towards the new one having the cleaner tampos. As you can see, they are both the printer style, but the new one seems to have less, at least on my version, less gradient and like artifacts around the headlights. I think they look really good on the new one, which is good. You want them to be improved. We actually want the new ones to be better. Overall, I think the Jetta and the VW logo on the back looks better on the new one. The lights aren't done quite as well, but I would still lean towards the new one as being the better of the 2. And this one, even though my phone case is a little green, you can tell the top one is actually more of a pure white. This is actually more of an, I don't want to say off-white, but it's definitely not as white as the new one. So the win to the new one still. So let's go ahead and take a look at the one that came in the diorama pack. So I think the new one is the more cleaner white color, as you can see. It's definitely a brighter white color, which I think looks better. The tampos, since the diorama pack, they look very similar. I don't really think there's too much difference in these. Yeah, I would say, again, man, 2 out of 2 so far, that the new one in the new 5-pack box has the best tampos and the best color overall. It's just the brighter white. All the tampos look pretty good. They improved the Jetta on the back, which is nice. And there's no artifacts around the headlight like all that printer graphics. Now, mine does have a little bit of a smudge on the window from going back and forth inside the package, which kind of is a bummer, but overall, it looks pretty good. So I'm pretty impressed with these so far. So let's go ahead and get the third one out. All right, the third one, the Maxima. This is probably one of the most discussed Fast and Furious models this past year, at least new models. It is not, the correct car is not actually a Maxima. It is I'm probably going to say wrong, Surfero, I think is how you say it. I'll put it on the screen just in case. This has been released once before in one of the newer car culture releases or entertainment releases. So here it is. Let's compare the base. So this one was made, just a few weeks after the original one. So there shouldn't be any big differences in this. And so far, I can't see really any difference. The tampos look very similar. Yeah, they didn't add anything. It doesn't look like they took away anything. Really, the only difference on these is probably going to be the base code because they were made so close together, about 8 weeks apart, which isn't bad compared to several years apart on the other ones. But the one bummer thing is that these cars are having the rub marks on the window from the packaging, which kind of sucks. But if you're after this one or haven't found it or want the other versions of this car, this one's worth getting, even though it is the incorrect model. I'm not really a fan of it. I wish they would have done a better job. But if you're still needing this, the 5-pack is a good way to get it because it's just the same as the regular release. So, okay, one thing I forgot to mention about this box and the box art in general and the choice of cars, I kind of got sidetracked. But what I thought was weird about this is that in the scene with all the cars, like when the SVT Lightning was carrying all the parts like to work on the Supra, all these cars, out of all of them, this car was not in it. It was actually the RX-7. So I don't know why they included the Maxima with this, but in order to be like screen accurate, they could have put the RX-7 in here and it would have been so cool. They would have done such a great job with that. You could have actually like recreated that scene minus some like boxes in the back, but I don't know why they chose this. My guess is they have a ton of these laying around, and the RX-7 was included in that one and a couple other of the sets. But to me, it would have made more sense to include the RX-7 rather than the Maxima, and you could have had that whole scene. It would have been great, but Hot Wheels being Hot Wheels, they gave us the Maxima instead. So, all right, back to it. Next up, whoop, I'm getting them out of the box over here. Kind of get it out of the way. Okay. So this is the R33 GTR. This has the same wheels as the original Fast. So let's go ahead and take a look at each. So graphics wise, it looks to be very similar. The color looks a little brighter, or a little darker, I should say, on the like the splashes on the back quarter, which make the car look a little bit better. Now let's go ahead and look at the front tampos. It looks like the new one is a little bit more gold yellow than the old one being brighter yellow. You can kind of see it coming through the camera. Sometimes it's hard to tell, but they're like in the ring light, you can kind of see the difference. The new one is a bit darker, but the tampos on the front look the same. I don't really see any difference there. Again, just a little bit darker probably on the new one. So let's see. The graphics on the back, I really don't see a lot of difference. So that is pretty good. The base code on them, let's see. So that's an M06 and the new one is an S32. So as you can tell, big difference between the base codes, but everything else is pretty similar. So if you miss the original Fast one and you like these like vintage racing wheels better, this is a good 5-pack to pick up. Now we compare it to the newest release that has the less screen accurate. I don't know, to me they're both these wheels are kind of horrible, but there you can see the new graphics. Like look how horrible they are on the 5-pack one and look how clean they are on the newer one. They look so much better. All that printer grain on there looks absolutely terrible. So even when we compare the front, like I don't know, I actually think the headlights might be a touch better, but the graphics on them aren't really that good. And this is a more brighter yellow as well. So these cars, all three of them have a different shade of yellow on them. But when we look at the back, I don't know. I think the new one is still the better one. Or the older one, I'm sorry. Which one is it? Yeah. So this one, to me, this one has a little bit cleaner graphics, but it could just be the release I got where the Greddy on both sides of the bumper aren't super good. But there's still that printer style graphics. They're not the best overall. So if you missed any of the previous ones, I would probably skip the black wheel one and go with either the original one or this. Probably the cheaper one is this one in the 5-pack because it's the same as the original Fast, but it is just as good of a paint and better graphics than this one. So this is probably a winner as well. So this 5-pack really just keeps on giving. So let's take a look at the last car, which is Letty's S14 from the first movie. Graphics are looking good. It's got the chrome 6 spokes on it. Let's see the graphics. Looks good. Not too bad. Okay, so let's take a look at it compared to the original Fast. So there you can see it looks like the headlights might have got a little better. It looks like there might be a touch more narrower and fit the headlight opening a little better. The quality of them appears to be the same. Overall, this paint looks to be a bit darker. The one on the left looks to be a bit like almost like magenta-y, and this one is a more darker purple. I don't think it makes a huge difference, but there you can tell a little bit from the side, the color. The newer one is definitely darker, but the tampos to me are very similar. I don't think there's a huge difference there. And on the rear, yeah, the only big difference I see on the new one is the bigger Nissan symbol in the center. So I don't know which one is more realistic. My guess is the smaller one on the original one, but both of these look pretty good. So the base code on the original MO2, S28 on the new one, they both have flat black chassis. I think I'm going to go with the original one, probably having a little bit more accurate rear decal or tampo, but the new one is just as good, in my opinion, like overall, if you don't want to spend the money on the original. But let's take a look at this one. Again, the newer ones, like the ones with the black wheels that they released recently, the tampos are just terrible. They're that printer style. You can't even see that. Terrible. Look how clear that is compared to that one. So to me, these are all just skip. Like you can skip the ones with the black wheels, even though they might have a little bit better tampos, like on some of the edges. Like to me, the back of that is probably a little better, but it's missing the Nissan logo out of the center. So, oh, and it appears to have a different license plate. Did all of them have the same license plate? Let's see. So the original one and the new one have the same license plate, which I assume is the correct one. I don't know why this one all of a sudden has a new license plate, or the black one does. Whatever it was, they probably went back to the correct one. So again, pass on the black wheel one, get the new one in the 5-pack because that seems to be the better one. But I'm going to check. Did these have any license plates on them? I don't think so. Okay. So in my opinion, this 5-pack, this new 5-pack from Amazon, it's around like $40. I don't know the exact name of it. It doesn't have like a, like that one's the Too Soon Junior. The other two are just like, I can't remember what they call them. I think they were Walmart exclusives actually. I'll have to see if I can find a name, but it doesn't have a name right off there. But all the cars in the set are really solid. So to me, if you're a Fast and Furious collector, absolutely worth picking these up, especially if you missed out on the original fast cars like these, or even if you missed out on the first SVT Lightning, because this version to me is a little bit better. Now, the only downfall to all of these cars in this set are that the windows have that little like rub mark on them, but I don't know. I display these like sideways, so I can't really see it. It's no excuse when you're spending $40 on a car or on a set to have that, but because they come in these unique boxes in the more 5-pack style packaging like that, you're going to have that. So even regular 5-pack cars have that, unfortunately. But overall, I would give this if you're a Fast and Furious collector, that's a must buy because all the cars are just as good or better than the original. They're better than the previous releases, like the most recent. They're just as good as any of the others. So this is definitely a buy for me. So if you're on the fence about it or were wondering, the cars, they definitely live up to the standard. They're a little bit better. So definitely hit this up. Check out Amazon. I will try to put the link to the Amazon listing in the description. I don't know if I can find it. I've been having trouble finding it. Several people sent it to me. That's how I originally found it. So shout out to everyone who sent that to me. 2 or 3 people sent it to me in like one night. So I really appreciate that. But this set, like I said, great set. So if you're collecting all these, definitely get this set. So I really appreciate watching. This is Sam 64 Reels. Like and subscribe as always. I have a lot more Fast and Furious stuff. I have so many video uploads to do. I'm so behind, but I will have a ton of stuff coming between now and Christmas to try to get you through the holidays, watch some diecast videos instead of hanging out with the annoying family. Beep, beep, you know what I'm saying? So, all right, this is Sam, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.